dare I say, is Jeremy Swayman back? I was killing him about a week and a half ago. That game against, who was it? Denmark or something. They gave up a 5-1 lead. He didn't make any saves in the first 3 goals that he gave up. They blew the lead and ended up winning it in overtime. Well, after that, he was lights out for Team USA at the World Championships. About as good as you could possibly ask for if you're the Boston Bruins. And oh yeah, by the way, all they did for the US was win their first gold medal at the World Championships in 92 years. 92 years. And Swayman went into the gold medal game, pretty good stats. 6-0, 905 save percentage, 1.98 GAA. And all he did in the gold medal game, 25 save shutout in a game that the U.S. won 1-0 in overtime. So Swayman kept them in that game throughout. So he finishes the tournament 7-0, a save percentage of 920, and a 1.69 goals against average. Wow. Compare that to what he did in the NHL this year when he was 22, 29, and 7. A 3.12 goals against average. Good for 42nd of all goaltenders in the NHL. An 892 save percentage. He was dominant in this tournament, much like we saw him in the 2024 playoffs when he was stealing the show. Probably the single reason why the Bruins won against the Leafs and then made it a 6-game series against the Panthers when they really had no business making it a 6-game series against the Panthers. That's the kind of goalie the Bruins went out and paid. The one that you saw in the World Championships, not the one you saw on the ice for the Bruins last year. So there's 2 different ways you can think of it. You could be like, where the hell was this guy when we needed him during the regular season? Which is perfectly fair. I'm kind of wondering that too. But there's also that thought of, are we just giving Jeremy Swayman a mulligan here? You know, he looked like a pretty nails goalie in 23-24. Granted, he was in a heavy rotation, right? He did not play nearly as much in 24 as he did in 25. But he still looked pretty nails. And here he is in a tournament, postseason tournament, and he looks pretty damn good again. Maybe this was easing into the thing. Maybe next year he will come out and be the number 1 goalie, the $8.25 million goalie that you expect him to be now, year in, year out. And the World Championships, it's obviously not comparable to the NHL regular season or the Stanley Cup playoffs. And obviously the U.S. doesn't normally take it very seriously, as evidenced by the fact they haven't won it in 92 years. It's really only the European teams that take it very seriously. But you are playing with and against NHL guys up and down the lineup. However hard they're going in that, you can, throw out your theories. It's not the NHL All-Star Game. It's not the 4 Nations. But they're out there. They're playing against NHL guys night in, night out. Jeremy Swayman was nails in this tournament. If he is back, that changes a lot of things for the Bruins. It's the only single position on the ice for the Bruins where one guy can change really their whole outlook on the season. They still need centers, but they needed centers in 23-24. They need a right shot defenseman. They needed some help in 23-24, but what they had in 23-24 was an elite goaltending tandem. And if Jeremy Swayman could steal some games for them, they weren't way out of the playoff picture until April of this past year. If he can steal some more games for you, then maybe that does lift you back into the playoff outlook late in the season. Again, you need plenty of other help, plenty more help, I guess. But there's really no other one guy that you're like, man, if this guy just steps up to be what he should be, then this really changes things for the Bruins. Right? David Pastrnak was what he should be. Morgan Geekie, what should he be? Pavel Zacha, what should he be? The only other guy on this Bruins roster outside of Jeremy Swayman that you could say, like, hey, if this guy just steps up to be what we're paying him to be, this could be different in a good way. The only other guy is Elias Lindholm. And oh, by the way, did Elias Lindholm have himself a tournament at the World Championships as well. Takes the bronze medal for Sweden and was the leading scorer for Team Sweden. 8 goals, 6 assists, 14 points in 10 games. Shit, man, that was almost half the season total right there. 14 points in 10 games. Well over a point per game, almost a 1.5 points per game for him at that tournament in a season where he played all 82 games and put up 47 points and was a -4 and stunk for Sweden at the World Juniors, the Four Nations. So maybe this is like, hey, these guys got a bit of a rest. They go into a different kind of atmosphere, a little bit less pressure for Team USA. Sweden takes it pretty seriously. And they went out and performed. And maybe that was kind of the restart they need. You don't really get that throughout an NHL season. And I know Lindholm was hurt for part of the season, maybe more than we thought, but he was a huge disappointment, a total ghost for the Bruins this year. Just absolutely useless for them at $7.75 million per year. We're talking about $16 million annually for those two guys, Lindholm and Swayman. And you got to give credit where it's due. Is it the Olympics? Is it the NHL? No, but it's a legitimate postseason tournament, international stage, and they both played really well. Really well. We're both probably maybe the biggest reasons why their teams medaled. So are the Bruins getting a new Jeremy Swayman? And how much does that change their outlook in the 2025-2026 season? Let me know in the comments section below, because they sure need a new Jeremy Swayman. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Swayman and Lindholm and what this could mean for the Bruins this year. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're bringing you Bruins and other Boston sports content 5 days a week, live on YouTube at high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. Check out the other videos on the channel. Special thank you to Zach Burke, who keeps us on the air. Thank you to Pete Souza for joining as well. I'm your host, Cam Stuart. We will see you tomorrow on a little ditty that we like to call The Cam Show.